In this video, we're going to review this dual. It's an XDVDN9131. So this piece is a single DIN flip out. It's a 7-inch, very appealing looking. I usually spend a lot of time just reviewing the high-end and the flagship models, but you know what? Not everybody can handle that. So I'm going to go forward and start broadening my reviews and get into some other stuff like Jensen Dual, Audio Vox, some other brands, up-and-coming brands, and stuff that's going to be a lot more interesting to a lot more folks, I think, in the future. And I don't really understand why a lot of people don't even spend a lot of time talking about this product line, because they are very interesting. If you didn't know it, but Dual actually was the first company to produce a record player. So that should give you an idea of just how long these people have been around creating products. So before I power this unit on and get involved in all the features and stuff about it, I just want to show you real quick what you're going to get. There's your unit box, as you might expect, a remote, a parking brake lead, there's an AV input which they use to connect on the front right area, as well as the USB. Unlike most of these companies, this company actually does something that's almost unheard of in today's industry, and they give you the actual Ipod Control with the USB and the analog 3.5mm, which is proprietary for the unit. That comes with it. And you're going to have your standard 16-pin wire harness. You got your Bluetooth mic, a detachable face case. Yes, this thing is detachable face. GPS antenna, and the manuals. Now on the rear, look at that. Very robust back here. Especially for something in this price point. This thing, just for your own information, retails, or you can find them online, from anywhere in the low 2s, mid 2s. I've been seeing them around there. That's about what we're selling them at. So back here you got your dedicated AV2 input. You got preamps for front, rear, and subwoofer preamp output. A dedicated camera input. The Bluetooth microphone input. Antenna. And that's pretty much it. I mean, everything else is already built into the unit. The Bluetooth is there. The GPS is built in there. And again, keep in mind, I mean, for the price, again, saying around 250 bucks or so, this time, a year and a half ago only, you couldn't even touch an add-on GPS for an existing DVD receiver for something like this. So, right there, we're up to a good start. So let's set this unit up and take a look at it. So this is the unit closed up and powered on. You'll notice that outside here, there's an outside display with the blue backlit display there. Your eject button to display so you can see the clock while it is closed. The open button so it'll pop open and show you the 7-inch screen. This here is the release button where you can touch it once and that'll be where your disc will go. Now right in here you have a 3.5mm jack for analog audio, and you have a USB. Like I mentioned before in the overview, you got this cable which will do your charging, your audio right there. The cable, I'd say, is about, not exactly 3 feet long, but about 3 feet long. So just to give you an idea of what you're going to wind up with, it's about yay long. Should give you a good idea about what you're going to get. And you get it for free, so who can complain about free? There's the face case. Right here is the Bluetooth mic. You can either use this little clip, put it on your sun visor, put it on your A-pillar, or you could just remove this entirely, take the mic out and flush mount it. That's what I usually do whenever I install these types of units, and that'll give you, you know, some pretty good service. The Bluetooth on this unit is rather decent. It's about, I'd say, about the standard of what you're going to expect from just about anything out there, with the exception of like a high-end Parrot kit or you know, a pretty high-end factory install type of system. It's actually pretty good. It's decent. It's not a disappointment. So we got that. This is laid out rather well. You got the cancel button and the call button for your Bluetooth, red and green, so it's pretty easy to identify. Your band button and your mode button are located here and here. I think that they could have done a little better with button placement. I'm not really a big fan of that. And again, this big button for the mute, you know, really, what's the reason why? I don't see the necessity, but hey, I figure it was noteworthy. So we're going to open it up, see what we got. Just straighten this camera out a little bit so you can get a better idea, and I'll zoom in real fast so you can get a good idea of what I'm seeing. So this here is the Bluetooth home screen. The touchscreen is responsive, by the way. You don't have to, like peck at it and get all crazy with the thing, and it's nothing like that. It works rather well. The downside to the screen, I have to say, the nit rate of this LCD is not all that. It's nothing like some of the, the major brands out there. And when I say major, I mean like Kenwood, JVC, Pioneer, Alpine, etc. Of course they're going to be better because they started around $500. We're talking about a unit that's around the $250 price range. Like I'm saying, this unit has GPS built into it, made by Nav Atlas, which is the same exact software that you get in your Apple iPhone and a lot of Android devices. So that's really good. And when I show you the Nav features, it's actually pretty impressive. Now on your Bluetooth screen, you got your keypad, of course, as you can see. Your phone book. I did not pair a unit to this phone, so I'm not going to go that route. You can use your imagination and do that on your own. And your Bluetooth setup, you can see nothing's paired. It's got an auto connect. It's also got an auto answer feature. The Bluetooth mic, it has an internal, so you can choose not to use this external microphone if you wanted to. That's a really nice little feature, I think. So we'll go on back to the home screen. See what's going on here. So with a lot of these features that I've noticed, using your hands to navigate most of these functions and audio modes and stuff like that, it is doable because I was, of course, goofing around with this unit before I started the review. But this remote, I find, for me, was a lot easier. At least you don't have to rely on using this on a daily, every day for all your usual, regular usages. But I think for the initial setup, I personally think that this remote will come in handy. And I think that's why they included it the way they did. And plus, I mean, any unit should have a remote. I don't think it should be an option. They should sell it to you. I think they should just give them to you. They're cheap enough, for crying out loud, right? Now, when we go to that home screen, I want to show you those sources. Now, right here, you got the Bluetooth, your AV1 and 2. Now again, you don't have to use this for the iPod. They also supply you with this little pigtail, which will do audio video right in the front of the unit without plugging anything else externally, any other place, which is cool. I like that. Good idea. I'm not a huge fan of having wires in the front of my stereo myself, but again, for the money, Now, the iPod is not plugged in, and that is actually not a disappointment. Your navigation, we're going to get to that in a second. Your disc, with this thing will play MP3s, AACs, CDs, CDRs, CDRW, all that crap, as well as DVDs. There's a dedicated set of RCA inputs in the back of the unit, so you could feed an analog signal right in there. There's also an SD card feature right on the side here. You can insert an SD card, and you can put your media on there, whether it be movies, audio, whatever. And of course you got your regular radio tuner. This unit is not satellite compatible with either XM or Sirius XM for that matter. So that's another noteworthy thing I should tell you about. Now here's on your main setup. This is a good feature. Not so much for people in the USA because they can probably care less about it. But if you wanted to ever use this internationally, you can actually set it up for South America 1 and 2 as well as Europe. So this will play NTSC files as well as PAL. So that's a killer feature. That's actually very hard to find. Almost nobody does that. There's your clock, 12 24-hour mode, turn the display on or off, do the beep, you want it, you don't want it. Second screen, you got your camera image, you could do normal or reverse depending on your preference. The TFT just stands for thin film transistor. That's for the screen. You can have it open and close automatically, or you can do it manually. This will support a 4-digit anti-theft code, so if someone was to steal your unit, take the face off, that's a good feature. Turn that feature on and off, toggle it right from here. Your reset, which we'll never do. Now here's all these features. I guess like someone like Pioneer calls it like the SLA feature, sound level adjustment. They have this for every source there is. Your tuner, your disc, iPod, USB, it just goes on and on. Navi, Bluetooth, your wireless hands-free Bluetooth from your Android or iPhone, whatever. SD card, AV1 and 2. You have gains for all these things. So you got a lot of that. More than you need. your screen setup, brightness, screen tilt, calibration, which you're never going to use anyway. But this unit, you could either do it right up in here, or you could do it from the buttons. You can actually move the screen. I'm moving it back. Whoop, why are you doing that? I don't want that. So this sucker will go down. Looks like about 15 degrees. It's not a mathematical guess, that's just my guess from looking at it, by the way. When you close this unit, you can notice that it's very smooth, very fluid. It's not fighting, it's not grinding, it's not chomping, it's not making any funny noises. It's a smooth system. And that, to me, means that this thing is going to last. Because I've seen a lot of these that just don't. And that usually goes for the higher end brands, unfortunately. Specifically Pioneer, those things are a nightmare. So that's that. Now as far as your nav goes, not bad, right? Let me give you a little close-up on that. Well, I guess that's about as close as you're ever going to get. Let me try to set it up a little differently though. That's the best I can do with the screen. Sorry if you don't like it, but that's the best I can do. Now as far as the GPS screen, it's very clear, it's very legible. You know, the buttons are large for zooming in and out. The pan works rather nice. Not bad. Your volume is laid out right there. That's not a typical feature for a lot of GPS systems that I know of. You turn, it tells you right there, you have your odometer, you have your satellite, it'll tell you how many bars you have, so it's not a mystery if it's, you know, what's going on with the GPS. Your destination, it lays out all your information right on the bottom, which is good because it keeps a lot of the information up on the top clear, and I'm a big fan of that because in my own cars, I've always had a problem when they throw information here, 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 here. You got crap everywhere, you know. And of course, when you're moving and you're setting a route, when you're coming into something, you're going to always have the zoom screen to show you what's coming up. Then it's going to go away, and you're going to have the full screen map, as you might expect. Now here you can have your heading. Change that real quick. If you wanted to do your map, hit your menu. Now you got your nav settings, the brightness, color, map view, which you could do right on the screen. The map colors you can customize, nighttime, daytime. This will automatically adjust when you're doing it for with a parking brake wire if your dual is equipped. I've seen some that do and some that do not have the parking brake wire. This particular one does not, so it will not auto dim to this at night. It'll always look like this unless you go in and manually change it over to that. Labels on map, that's going to basically tell you if you want your icons, if you like gas stations, food, restaurants, ATMs, whatever the story is of what you're looking for. Auto zoom is programmable. Of course, your home is programmable. Nothing exciting going on there. Your routes, clear it. That's a good button because a lot of units make you fight to try to locate that simple, ridiculous button. That's a good feature. So when you're on your home screen, your home, your favorites, which are, you know, the things that you save and you call it whatever you call it. Your emergency, which is self-explanatory. It's an emergency to get some money at the bank, get some fuel, cops, auto, hospital. It's right there. Recent destinations, right there. Your itinerary. So if you had set up going to grandma's house and you went to stop at the gas station and you had to pick up a book at the library, you can have all those things set and break down your route and know exactly where you are and how much longer till you actually get your whole trip completed. Now, when you're doing addresses, of course, it'll know what state you're in. You put in the city, the street, the number, go, and that's all there is to it. But it gets better. POI, which is point of interest, you could do your name, just type it in, what you're looking for, and it'll pull it up from its database, because this, like I was saying, is Nav Atlas. So the same stuff that you're accustomed to on your phone, you're going to find in this unit. You could do a zip code search, which is very unique. I've never seen any unit have that. Point on map, so you could just basically pan and scroll, touch where you want to go, and make it your destination and go for it. Now your point of interest telephone number, very good feature again. Just punch it in, put in the area code, the 7 digits, go, and boom, you're going. That's it. your categories, pretty typical. And it'll give you, you know, what you're looking for. Hotel, motel will do. Let the computer do its thing, and it'll automatically start from the closest to the farthest away from you. And you can sort this out alphabetically, or by, you know, if it's like Hyatt, you know, Wyndham, whatever, and you could do the whole thing sorted out that way. But you can see it's starting at 0.4, it's going up to the farthest destinations away. So I like that. Also, you got a fuel cost unit. This is where you set your clock. You could have a speed limit alert, so it'll give you a little ding ding telling you to wake up when you're going too fast. Change your options, your language, time zone. The language I'll touch on real quick, because this is going to be a big question for most folks watching this. So you got French, you got Espanol, you got English, and French Canadian. The girl's name is Nicole. She ain't too bad looking either. And you could actually do voice or text or both. So you could have voice over text. You know, it's very good, so it gives you a visual and an audible, you know, confirmation as you're going along. To change it, hit apply, and that's it. Go back. So the navigation on this system, very robust. I like. I'm sure anybody who looks at this would like it. The only thing that I have to say to pick on it, I would like to see all the units have that auto dimming feature, and I would like to see the screen be a little bit more clear. I think that would be very nice. I mean, it's not really that bad. Maybe I'm just a little too picky. But I do like to see things to look very sharp. But that's me. But all in all, I'd say the nav feature for this unit is by far the best thing it has going for it. Plus that it also has Bluetooth, so you can actually go ahead and listen to your tunes as you're going along. Get interrupted with a Bluetooth hands-free call, take the call, and have the map going on all simultaneously. And the processor will do that without getting jammed up and having a heart attack. That's also a bonus. So in that respect, Dual's looking real good. That SD card feature, great feature. I like it because it comes with that free iPod cable. I like it that it comes with the remote, and I love the fact that the face is detachable. A feature that I'm not too wild about is this, that if you want to connect your iPod, of course you could do it via Bluetooth. You won't get all the tech support and all the on-screen controls that you might expect. If you want that, and to charge your iPod, of course, as well, you do have to plug it in. The problem is that you do have to plug it in the front, and I don't like that. Now, I'm using an iPhone 4S right now to use with this unit. So it's leaving off on where I was listening to. You can't touch and drag. That's not how this unit works. It's all, you know, button clicky kind of dealies. So with this artist, you just go through what you want. Fast forward, next song, straightforward, not a big deal. To go back, there's always a back button on the left side of the navigation window. The only problem I have with this is that all this crap in the middle doesn't necessarily need to be there, in my opinion. I think they should have taken this. Yeah, They should have taken this, made it full screen, and utilized the space a little bit more generously. I think that would have been a good thing. For me, I like things big because my eyes don't like squinting at stuff like that. Now, if you was actually looking for a certain song or file, whatever it is, you hit that little folder button. You got your music, video, and photos. We're going to do music. And you could choose, say, artists. And then you just, you know, find whatever you're looking for. Do your thing. Very responsive, very quick. So I'll give it a prop for that. There's no lag, there's no waiting, everything is moving very fast, very fluently. To change your audio sources, the only way you can do it is if you actually have a CD in here, or if you're in the tuner mode, or the iPod mode. In this respect with this radio, I'd have to give this thing, you know, a 5 out of 10, because I like buttons, I like, you know, audio controls, I love that kind of stuff, and for me this unit just does not do it. It has a loudness feature. Very straightforward, bass, treble, balance, and a sub control, for me, pretty substandard. I mean, it sounds okay, but unless you have an external EQ, if you have your amps tuned to the hilt, this is probably just not going to get you too excited. So in this respect, this thing is not an audio machine by a far cry, but it is feature filled. It's got a lot for the money. So if that's what you're looking for, this unit just might be what you're looking for. And plus, that detachable face security is a very cool feature. Almost very unique in this industry. Most of the companies that used to always have it, such as JVC, stopped offering it. Why, I don't know, because people sure as hell like it, myself included. I like it. So overall, I tell you, for all the little things that this unit does, it looks awesome. It's very impressive. It's very clean. Looks very sharp. So if you're looking for a good middle-of-the-road receiver with Bluetooth and some GPS built into it, take a good look at this piece. It's actually worth it. It's actually, I think, very good for the money. You know, we sell them. If you're looking for a deal, you know, hit us up. We'll try to make you a deal on this or anything else that you want. This one here is the XDVDN9131. They also have this one in a double DIN format and a couple other units that are comparable beneath it and above it, so that way they have some other choices. So that's it. This is the dual review, my first ever. So I hope you enjoyed it. Till next time.